if your keywords are relevant to the ad copy in your ads, and that's also in line and relevant to your landing page, you'll get good results. It's very hard not to get good results if it's relevant, basically. That's really the name of the game. If you can get relevancy, it's very hard not to get good results.
How short is too short, or how long do we leave our ads up? Welcome to the Upscale podcast. I am Brendan, and we are joined today by Jordan. Jordan, tell us about yourself, man.
I am a digital marketing specialist. I've been running paid ads now across Google and other platforms for the best part of, say, 4 years now. Spent millions of dollars on the platform, seen what works, seen especially what doesn't work. And that's how you kind of essentially get towards the place where you find out what works faster.
That's really good, man. Now, you run your own agency, is that right?
Yep, I run my own agency. We specialize in all the paid ad side of things. Don't really go outside of that. That's our zone of genius. So that's where we stick.
Do you have any sort of criteria? Like, what are the main things that you would look for when someone says, how long should I run this ad for? What would be your key points to run that in for?
So there's a few answers to this question. Generally, if you're just starting out and you're launching a brand new campaign, you want to go anywhere up to about 3 months is generally what the recommended is to really start seeing results and to get some consistency. That's the biggest thing, consistency. When you're in your Google ads and you have been running for, say, 3, 4, 5 months, and you see some good results one week or it drops off the next week, you got to understand that Google has a learning phase of, it's about 3 weeks. 14 to 21 days is the learning period. So every time you make a change in the Google ads, especially a big change, you might not see the benefit for 2 or 3 weeks after that because it's an AI platform. Basically, it learns. So if you make a change, it needs to relearn based off the change you've made, and it might have a positive impact or a negative impact. So you've got to give about 2 to 3 weeks to see that. Once you see that, you can make more changes and then see if it works and just find more of what works and more what doesn't.
A lot of it is trial and error, isn't it?
Exactly right. So the good thing is, if you keep a log, usually like a Google Sheet works of how, what changes you make on what date, you can essentially see what worked and what didn't based off the performance. So if you see performance is slowing, look at the last set of changes, see what you added, see what you removed. Maybe something in there has tweaked it to where it stopped performing. Maybe you've paused the keyword that was previously performing. It's probably the best way to look at it like that. Keep some sort of log.
For someone who's a bit unsure, they're thinking about starting Google ads or social media ads or something like that, what's some key things that they should be looking out for if they're trying to manage it themselves, or if they're trying to approach an agency or something like that to run them for them?
One thing I've noticed consistently is you can have a fast setup process for Google, but generally you're better off taking the time to set up the keywords properly, the copy properly, the landing page properly. If an agency, from what I've seen, is going to set it up and they say will be launched in 2 or 3 days, it's probably not the best. It's probably like whipping up a quick thing, and it's probably not going to work very well. Whereas if you spend maybe 2-3 weeks doing the setup properly, you'll see results faster. Yes, it's going to take longer to get them live, but again, you're spending money at the end of the day. You want every dollar to go as far as possible, so you may as well put the work in at the start and not try and get a quick fix. That's probably my biggest recommendation there. And the other thing is, with Google ads, the whole name of the game is relevancy, essentially. So if your keywords are relevant to the ad copy in your ads, and that's also in line and relevant to your landing page, you'll get good results. It's very hard not to get good results if it's relevant, basically. Now, obviously, you'll get leads coming through. The next thing is quality of leads. A lot of agencies might talk about, hey, we can get you a good volume of leads, but you've got to understand the quality. So you got to have some sort of metric to track this. Either that's via a phone call tracking number, you can match them into a specific landing page and you can look at the quality and match them back to your ads. And then you can kind of see what actually ROI you're getting. So that's a big thing to look as well. You might get a higher cost per lead, but if your ROI you're actually getting a profitable return on your ad spend that you're happy with, then you're happy to pay a higher cost per lead because you're making money. You'd rather less leads and making money rather than a bunch of leads who'd pay you nothing, basically. So that's probably the biggest thing to look for as well. Relevancy, looking at back-end ROI, and landing page is obviously super important. I would generally advise don't send leads to your website. And if you have an agency, I would highly recommend that you make sure they're doing a landing page that's specific to each service. So General Electrical, one for solar, maybe one for CCTV, all kind of standalone services. Just make sure that they understand the relevancy and the campaign built out enough where, you have multiple ad groups based off themes, and you have multiple ads for each ad group, and then you could have multiple landing pages based off the one for aircon, one for solar, one for electrical. That's really the name of the game. If you can get relevancy, it's very hard not to get good results.